We have lots of folks joining us, and that's fantastic, from Eastern Canada. So thanks for taking the time today. I'm going to get us started, and then I'm going to run another poll here. So thanks again. My name is Mary Eleanor Power. I'm the Director of Marketing and Communications for Dalhousie University's Faculty of Open Learning and Career Development. And I'm happy to welcome you to today's webinar, where we're going to run through 2 certificates and a few a few standalone courses focused on the areas of writing and communications. So before we begin, I would like to share that Dalhousie University sits on the ancestral and unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. We are all treaty people. And we also acknowledge the histories, contributions, and legacies of the African Nova Scotian people and communities who have been here for over 400 years. So with me, I have my colleague, Eutheny Amit, who is our program director managing this portfolio as well as a few others, and she's here to answer any questions and also will be tag teaming on some information. So I would also like to mention that if you have any questions, we'll have some time at the end. We'll run this webinar for about 30 minutes, but we are more than happy to go over that time if there are still questions that need to be answered. So feel free to either raise your hand or add a question into the chat. And now I will just run our second poll. Sorry, I just had to get it ready there. So let me just stop sharing. And what we're curious to know is what is your preferred style of learning? So we have a few options here. It's not an exhaustive list necessarily, but we're just trying to get a sense of, in this online environment, there are lots of different ways that you can learn and different levels of engagement. So just let us know what's your preference. Online at my own pace with no live sessions hosted by the instructor, online with a few live sessions hosted by the instructor, online at my own pace with more live sessions hosted by the instructor, or face-to-face. So in that third option where I say more live sessions, what we're trying to gauge is to what extent are you looking for that engagement from the instructor and those kind of scheduled live sessions. We know that everyone is very busy live, so we're trying to get a sense of what your level of engagement, what your preferred level of engagement is. I'll give that just a few more seconds. Okay, that's great. So now I will end the poll and share our results. So the winner, online at my own pace with more live sessions hosted by the instructor. So it's really helpful feedback. We know that the instructor is very much an important factor in the courses that you choose. So we'll be sharing some information on the instructors that will be teaching the certificate. So stay tuned for that. All right, so let me share my screen and let's get started here. Okay, so writing and communications. We'll be covering our customer service specialization certificate and our technical writing certificate. And if people want to share in the chat, feel free to just informally share. Perhaps if it's not these 2 certificates, what really brought you to this webinar? What kind of courses are you really interested in taking, or certificate of these 2? And feel free to just add that in the chat. Okay, I'll feel free to let us know. Edward, you've said technical writing, thanks so much. And if there are topics that are not of these names of these certificates, but instead individual courses that you're interested in, let us know that too. Okay, so we'll run through the first certificate, the customer service specialization. So here, you're really, a lot of our certificates, this one isn't dissimilar from really all of our certificates that are really focused on kind of that applied learning. All of our instructors are either working in the field or recently retired. So this certificate is no different, where you'll be looking at real world examples, case studies, and covers the different phases of implementing a customer service plan. We all know how important customer service is, especially the online implications of customer service in today's world. And you'll examine operations management techniques and data reporting methods that all support customer success management program implementation. There are 3 courses and 3 required courses, and those need to be completed within 3 years of enrollment. And what you'll learn: the techniques of customer management, ways to improve management skills through customer relationship management, how a customer service experience translates to customer retention, really important, and how operations management can help increase performance with CSM. So you'll be learning a specific methodology as part of the certificate as well. And I would argue that, gosh, customer service spans so many different industries. We often think of it maybe specific to retail or anything where you're kind of working with customers on one-on-one every day, but certainly the tenets of customer service cross so many different roles and industries. So really a relevant certificate here. And the required courses are really just focused on kind of giving you that foundational intro to the methodology. And then you'll move more deeply into the next 2 courses, where you'll be implementing customer success strategies and then refining, measuring, and improving. The course format: all of the courses are online and can be taken at your own pace. And as you can see, just as I described, recommended for really a wide variety of roles, and as you can see, not specific to one industry.
Can I just interrupt for 1 second?
Yeah.
And that is that Mary Eleanor is right. You can take these completely asynchronously, but in January of next year, we will be starting with the first course and running that in person with an instructor-led session, so synchronously. And that will be starting on January 12th, which is a Thursday night. And that live session will be from 8 to 9 p.m. on Atlantic time. But that's, if you want to get it done faster, certainly take the asynchronous one. But if you would like to have more instructor involvement, as some of you indicated in that poll, then this might be the right one for you. So just to let you know that, okay?
Awesome. And I see a number of comments here about technical writing skills. So a lot of what we're talking about here is it's very much a on-the-job application of writing skills, whether it's related to customer service and being more clear in your communications and more concise. So these are kind of tailored courses and certificate that will touch on and improve your writing skills relative to customer service. Okay, let's move along to tell you a little bit about the instructor. So the instructor for all 3 courses within the certificate is Marcus Hines. Just a little bit about him. He is an engineer with over 10 years of experience in the field, has managed corporate client accounts in both the utilities and the engineering industry. And Marcus has worked in heavy machinery account management and customer service management, specifically in power generation and utilities in both Canada and the Caribbean, holds a BSc in geomatics engineering with an MBA specialized in service operations management from the UK. So you can expect from Marcus, and we hosted a webinar with him a few months ago, very engaging person, very skilled in the technical aspects of customer service, as you can see with his background spanning engineering as well as business, but then also brings a real personable, friendly quality, I think, to the teaching as well. really understandable as well. So that is a little bit about Marcus. And now let's move on to the second certificate in this writing and communications program area. And it is in technical writing. So you'll develop a versatile set of writing skills by mastering best practice for writing clear, compelling reports and other technical documents. And don't we all need that skill? I find that even in marketing communications, this is a required skill. There are 4 courses, 1 required course, and then 5 elective options. So you can really make this your own and customize it for your own interests. And you need to complete the 4 courses within 4 years of enrollment. So you have some flexibility there. What you'll learn, so how to analyze your audience using 3 different methods. Straightforward document structure for a brief document as practices when describing technologies, so readers can visualize it, and many of us are visual learners, myself included. How to develop a process for effectively editing your own writing, because we can be our worst critics, but sometimes not critical enough. Ways to analyze your document stakeholders, how to develop a document persuasion strategy, and then best practices when creating compelling recommendation reports and winning proposals. Gosh, it sounds like such a fantastic certificate that I certainly see a lot of relevance to that in my day-to-day work, and I hope you do as well. So course format online can be taken online at your own pace. And as you can see, recommended for engineers, business analysts, as well as project managers and those who use writing to share technical information. So really lots of different industries reflected in who it's recommended for. You can see here, there's the required course, Technical Writing Essentials, and then 5 different electives that you can choose from: writing clear technical reports, writing emails that get results, grammar tune-up, persuasive writing, and project management documents.
You need to do 3 of those electives to complete the certificate, right?
Yes, and I am going to add the link to the certificate here so you can see information on the individual courses as well. So then a little bit about our instructor. So our instructor is Nadine D'Entremont, and Nadine has graduate degrees in English and Information Studies and has been coaching professionals in business and technical writing for over a decade with students across disciplines like engineering, IT, and healthcare. She has experience developing funding applications in the arts sector, drafting policy reports in the public sector, and writing educational resources for news broadcasters. She's also worked as an instructional designer and a teacher of English as a second language, and is currently working on her 2nd feature-length screenplay. So you can certainly ask her about her movie pursuits, her film pursuits, as well as her experience in this field. All right. So I'll pause here just for a moment and see if there are any questions that anyone wants to flag. Take this time to take a sip of my water. So feel free to type in any questions that you might have.
No questions, but I should make a clarification, and that is on the customer service certificate.
Okay.
We will actually be only starting that one synchronously in January. So there is no asynchronous version available right now. So apologies for that slight miscommunication there. So January is when that will start. January 12th will be the first course, and that's a Thursday night again.
So, and just because there may not be as much familiarity with synchronous and asynchronous, when we refer to asynchronous, we're referring to taking at your own pace, and the synchronous format is kind of structured set live sessions with specific dates and times that are led by the instructor. So you'll notice that if you're interested in that customer service specialization certificate, like Yuseni said, the first one, Understanding the Value of Customer Success, begins January 12th. And there is a live session that takes place every Thursday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time.
And I see a question from Jackie. you do not need a technical background to take this course. It's more directed in the context of what it is you're writing. So if what you have to write is technical, then this is perfect. But you don't need to have that technical background to actually take the program. Does that answer your question, I hope? Okay,
Perfect.
great.
Okay, wonderful. Let's keep moving along and feel free to add any questions in the chat. So wanted to share a few standalone courses. And it goes without, I should also mention that these certificates that we just showed you, those courses can be taken standalone. It's up to you whether you want to take all of the courses to receive a certificate. If you choose only to take 1 or 2 courses, you will receive a course completion document or record that you can then add to your resume. So you can still receive that Dalhousie recognition of completing a course if you choose only to take 1 or 2 and not complete the full certificate. So I just want to make sure that everyone's aware of that flexibility that we offer. So these are a few that you can take individually without enrolling in a certificate. The first is accident investigation. And I might pass this over to you, Eutheny, if I can, after I just provide this short overview. So it is a 30-hour online course, and it will give you the necessary background understanding and innovative methods required to conduct a thorough and effective accident investigation. So perhaps you can shed some light for us on how this has found its way within the writing and comms communications program area, and perhaps who this might be recommended for.
Sure, yeah. So ultimately, this course is about writing a report because it's definitely it's an accident investigation course. So it is geared towards kind of OH&S and environmental management safety people. But it's how to report in an accident, how to interview people that were in an accident scene, involved in it, witnessed it, and then all the requirements in terms of reporting in terms of legal and police and whatever. There are certain what's the word? Not formats, but regulations that you need to follow, and so the technical writing part of it comes in because the ultimate product of this course is a written report, reporting on it's a mock accident that is built into the course. So that's how it's ended up in this portfolio, because it is largely a communication and writing piece, and how you translate that into writing, because through your observations. So I don't know if that, I hope that explains it in terms of how it ended up here. Yeah,
absolutely, absolutely. And then our second course that we wanted to cover, and this course, Strategic Public Communications, Building Impact and Influence, has application across many of our certificates, whether it's a required course or an elective. So if this is a course that's of interest to you, and you would be interested in taking this course and then seeing what certificate options are available to you, this course can be used to then go on and complete a full certificate. So, so just something to keep in mind that if a standalone course isn't for you, then this one can be applied to other certificates. It's a 36-hour online self-paced course that examines the foundational elements of communications and its many facets. It will cover everything from employee communication to media relations to the changing nature of communication in a digital landscape. And you do have an opportunity to earn a micro-credential in strategic communications. And for those who might be working in HR who are joining us today, it has been pre-approved for continuing professional development CPD hours by charter professionals in HR, CPHR Nova Scotia. This course is taught by 2 retired police officers, and who spent the majority of their career, one person who, they are a husband and wife duo. The wife worked in communications with the regional police here in Halifax, and the husband is a retired police officer. And both worked very closely on sensitive communications, on media relations, and are well experienced in this area. So certainly it's a great foundational piece for anyone, really anyone in any industry. But certainly those who work in communications directly, this is a great foundational course to have in your toolkit.
I just see a question in here from Cecilia, and about the technical writing using layman's language, and that's a part of the technical writing certificate too, Cecilia. It's how, because so many of us are used to the acronyms and the lingo of whatever industry we work in, and so part of that technical writing certificate is to teach you how to not use those things so that you can write for lay people or for other industries or for other audiences that are not directly the people you normally write for. So it does give you a kind of a instruction on how to break it down so that it's understandable for anybody that's going to be reading your technical report. We'll call it that, but it's kind of across the board how to make it approachable to others. So I hope that that answers your question as well. And just about the accident investigation course, that is instructor led, and it will be starting in January, but we don't have dates yet. So we're working with the instructor on that one.
Wonderful. Thank you. And I'm just adding those into the chat here. So I've just added, because Cecilia, you were just asking about the strategic public communications, that I've just added a link there to that course. And the accident investigation, you'll notice that registration isn't yet available for it. However, if you do express interest in it, you can complete a course inquiry, and that will be flagged with our student services team, and they would follow up with you once registration becomes available. So those are the two links there. Yes, I can fully attest to the fact that that strategic public communications, it's very comprehensive. That's a great word for it. Teresa Rath Spicer and Dawn Spicer are the two instructors for that course. Okay, so that wraps up the formal portion, but I would be remiss if not to mention where you can find us. And these are other ways that you can communicate with us. We are on Facebook. We are also on LinkedIn. And then you can certainly visit our website, gal.ca/openlearning. And we are often sharing information through those channels about upcoming courses. So I would encourage you to check out those social channels as well as our website. And now we have just 5 minutes to answer any additional questions. And if it's easier, if your typing fingers are a little bit slower today, feel free to raise your hand, and I'm happy to unmute anyone who would be more comfortable to ask a question verbally. Thanks, Shala. Oh, that's great. Thank you, Heather. Yeah, and that's, I'm glad that you said that. That's fantastic. You'll be suggesting the courses to some coworkers. I'll just take one minute here to say that before the end of our workday today, you will be seeing in your inbox, and certainly check your junk as well, because we can't always guarantee it's going to land in your inbox, will be an email from MailChimp from us that will include a link to the recording of the webinar, as well as a link to the certificates that we covered today. So if you wish to forward this on to colleagues, rewatch, whatever the case may be, please monitor your inboxes to see that come out later today. Thanks, Heather. Thanks, Sherry. Jackie, question here. If we're interested in getting into technical writing as a career, would this be a good certificate to pursue?
Yes, it would. Just bear in mind, it is a non-credit certificate. However, it's, for working professionals, it's perfect because you can do it at your own pace, in your own time, on your own schedule. And it will definitely give you the background you need to get started in a career in technical writing, for sure.
That's great, Jackie. You have an English bachelor's degree. What a fantastic combination.
Okay.
And
You're
I
all
know
set.
you, Penny, that this has been brought up before, but certainly, we're not shy in connecting students or those who have very specific questions to their background or their interests, connecting them with the instructor.
Mhm.
So we're always willing to provide, often willing to provide their email, and you can certainly have a more direct conversation with those instructors with the instructor if you wish. We're happy to facilitate that introduction. Okay. I don't see any other questions in the chat, but I will pause just here for another minute. Okay. I don't see any. Okay, wonderful. Just as I say that, Stephanie, thank you. I'm looking to know more on public speaking, to where my job focuses on projects working with Mi'kmaq knowledge. Okay. So, Yusani, do you want to speak to this?
No, I was just going to say, yeah, we don't have, do we have a public speaking? I don't believe we do.
So the strategic public communications course does
Right.
focus on, it does have a module on public speaking. So it, and certainly the instructors have years of experience public speaking, speaking to media, and just the need to be as clear and concise as possible when public speaking. So you will be working on public speaking speeches and presentations, as well as media relations and issues management, crisis communications, that sort of thing. And you're indicating, Stephanie, that your job focuses on projects. I'm just wondering, we certainly have lots of courses that can either be taken toward a project management certificate or ones that standalone courses. There's certainly lots of people who take standalone courses within that certificate. And there might be one that would fit your needs. So perhaps it's a combination of two courses, the strategic public communications, as well as a course within our project management certificate that could kind of fit your needs and customize it for what you're looking for. I'm happy to, I'll just share our project management certificate in the chat here. Oh. Okay.
Probably the project management essentials course might be a good place to start.
Foundation course.
Kind of
Yes.
gives you the basics. It teaches you the language. Yeah. Okay. Right.
Do you need more in writing skills as well? Yeah. Well, so, certainly. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say the technical writing certificate. I mean, there are that grammar fundamentals course is, we all learned grammar at some point in school, but we've forgotten it. Or a lot of us have, or maybe some of us never learned it, but that's, that's kind of the brush up course that would definitely get you your basic writing skills, kind of up to, and just the basic grammar into your head again. So that would be a good place to start. And then from then it's, it's kind of picking the areas of interest that are relevant for you and your job or your interests to proceed with the rest of the certificate. Yeah, there it is, the grammar tune-up. Yeah.
This is the individual course. So this course is an elective within the technical writing certificate, but you can also just take it as a standalone course. So you could take 3 different standalone courses based on your needs and receive a course completion record for each of those courses and then not complete a certificate. I mean, that's entirely up to you and based on your needs.
Oh.
Okay. Hi, Keisha. Thanks for joining us. Great timing. So that
Yes.
grammar tune-up course begins on February 7th. And it is one that you can take at your own pace. So you could register for it today and begin tomorrow, later this week, and complete it at your own pace. And it is $495, and so it runs from February 7th. Like you have a good amount of time to complete it.
Right. It's February 7th to the 28th, so it's asynchronous within that time frame.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But the description is in the chat right above your comment, Cecilia, so you can click on that. Right.
So, sorry, Kenisha, just want to make sure that I'm answering your question. When will it be open? So the course is open. You can register for the course at any time, and then it will begin February 7th.
Right.
So you have some time to think about. Okay, so thanks for flagging that with us, Kenisha. I'm sorry that that's been challenging for you to register. I'm going to include an email address for our student services team, and either Gina, Kim, or Denise, who are our student services team, would be happy to help you. So feel free to email them at openlearning@dal.ca. I've just included that email address. You're welcome. And Cecilia, yes, yeah, industry knowledge tremendously helps. When you're going into an industry they're not familiar with can be challenging. Absolutely. So certainly having that base knowledge of the technical writing certificate, I think, would be a benefit. Okay. All right, wonderful. Thank you, everyone. This is fantastic. Thanks for staying with us. We're a few minutes over, but I said at the beginning, we're always happy to do that if it means that we're answering your questions. So I think that we can probably wrap up. And as I said, you'll see an email in your inboxes in a few hours from now with a link to the webinar recording that's hosted on our YouTube channel, along with links to the certificates that we covered today. And if you have any questions, feel free to email our student services team at openlearning@dal.ca, and the email address is in the chat there. Thanks everyone so much. Thanks, Yuthani, for tag teaming with me today.
No problem. And thank you everyone for joining us.
Thank you, and take care and stay safe.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.